Good evening and welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. The final whistle has just gone, and unfortunately, again, we have lost to Chelsea. And again, Diego Costa has done a job on us. Very disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed. I really thought we were going to win that game today. I woke up this morning full of confidence, but unfortunately, my weekend has been ruined once again. This evening, I'm joined by DT and Kieran, and Memz will be along shortly. DT and Kieran, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Well, yeah.
Yeah, as well as welcome be. DT, let's come to you first, mate. I thought second half we actually played all right. We were just chatting about it. I actually thought we'd done all right. Obviously, the only thing we didn't do was score a goal. I would have been happy with a 1-1 draw out of that. But how do you? What's your thoughts?
Yes, the mistakes happen by team selection. You know, we've been saying it. How many weeks? How is Mertesacker still getting in the team? He's an accident waiting to happen, and we've been saying it week after week after week after week. And today, that accident happened. You know, how many times have we sat there and gone, "Oh my God, he's going to get caught out. He's going to get exposed." And when I watched the replays of the way he went to make the tackle, and he was in the process of making the tackle, and he looked over at the linesman to see if he put his flag up.
Yes.
And I'm like, "What are you doing?" Do you know what I mean? An under 7 wouldn't do that. And it's just. Oh, you look at us in the second half and you look how solid we were. The last 5 minutes, Chelsea had chances. That's because we pushed everyone forward. We knew that. But look how solid we looked with Gabriel and Koscielny there. You know, I think that the most crucial part was after the sending off, that 5-minute period, we needed to settle down. We needed to settle down and we needed to, you know, get Gabriel into the game and get him comfortable. And they scored at the worst possible time for us and the best time for them. And the chances we had, they fell to the wrong players today. Flamini had 3 chances. And it's like, what the fuck? The guy's meant to be a defensive midfielder, supposedly. The guy shouldn't be playing for Arsenal Football Club.
I mean, what's the point of signing El Neni? El Neni should have been on that pitch today, if you ask me. Well, I don't care if it was Chelsea, I don't care.
Well,
he should have been in that team today. Kieran, El Neni, what's the point of signing him if we're not going to play him?
I don't know, man. Obviously, you know, I thought twice now he should have came on, at least for Stoke as well, because Ramsey looked quite tired against Stoke. And I thought that would have been good to put a nice fresh midfielder right into the middle. And then the same today, like Flamini, he was poor from the start. So. Yeah,
I mean, Ramsey and Flamini, I mean, even Ramsey today for me was just didn't really, he didn't cut it again, did he? I thought Ozil was very quiet. Sanchez, when he came on, of course, breath of fresh air.
Yeah, you know what? That's the only positive that I can take out today. But then when you watch Alexis in that final 20 minutes, it makes you sit there and go, why didn't he start?
Yeah,
because he done more in 20 minutes than anyone else done in the last 3 matches.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I thought Bellerin done well today. I thought Campbell again done really well.
But I think Gabriel and Koscielny, when them two were put together, they were solid.
They were. And I mean,
and there was an incident in the second half, right, where William went down the right hand side, and the ball knocked ahead, and it was a race between him and Koscielny. And it was kind of not the same area, but the same scenario as the Mertesacker and Costa incident. And the difference was that Koscielny's got the pace to step in front of him, sweep it up. Any player, if you would switch that round and say that was Gabriel with Mertesacker's place, he would have got that ball well before Costa did, laid it back to check, job done. And what I don't get is that Mertesacker knows he's the last man. He knows that making that tackle, he's going to get sent off. If you're talking 85th, 86th minute, couple minutes to go, you take one for the team, fine. Yeah, but when you know you're about 10, 15 minutes into the game, I'd rather him let Costa go and say, right, you got now go and beat Czech, and Koscielny was coming, so he would have put some pressure on him. And let's go and beat Czech. And if you do, we've got a better chance of getting that goal back 11v11.
Absolutely. Memz, welcome, mate. Welcome. We were just chatting there. Obviously, a disappointing result. But I was obviously saying that I can't fault the team's performance in the second half. We'll get onto that, obviously, as we go on. Memz, give us your thoughts.
Well, just touching on what DT said, I think the decision from Mertesacker to go to ground.
Just stop you there, mate. We've lost your audio, pal. We've lost your audio. Yeah.
Let me try again, mate.
There you go. Got you back. You're back.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry for that being late, Craig.
That's all right. DT. No problem, mate. No problem.
Craig, just want to say that the first half performance with Mertesacker going to ground and getting a red card was probably the turning point. All the game plan probably went out the window there. Like DT said, if that would have been the 85th minute of the game and he needed to take one for the team, you can understand it. But as an experienced international, for him to go to ground the way he did, reducing us to 10 men, I think it was a stupid decision from an experienced captain as he is, and and then the decision from Arsene Wenger as well to the way he then set up the team, I think was all wrong as well. He was playing with Ozil as the out and out striker, wasn't he? The target man, and then the second half, I just see Ozil playing, last man, chasing lost causes. He was up there trying to close down the game. I think it was just a ridiculous tactical decision as well. I mean, Thierry Henry said at half time he would have brought off Joel Campbell, would have played Ozil on the right, Theo on the left, and kept Giroud up front. So at least we've got someone that can hold up the play. We didn't create anything. We didn't look like scoring. But I think it was a tough game, obviously, because Chelsea is they've got a point to prove. It's probably one of the worst Chelsea teams we've seen in years. Yet we haven't beat them this season. We haven't. They've done us twice. So. It's a tough one. I'm really disappointed. But, I said before the game, I tweeted before the game, I said today was a big opportunity for Ramsey and Ozil to show us what they can do. Because a lot of them two have got their critics. And I think today was a good opportunity for Ramsey and Ramsey and Theo to what they can actually do. And I think both just didn't deliver. I was really disappointed with Ramsey today and Theo. I don't like singling players out, but I thought them two they were particularly poor.
They were, and if anyone watched the show on the Gooner Talk, I was mad calling for Theo Walcott to be playing up front today. Once again, how wrong was I? Anyway, let's get to some tweets. Remember, lads, Robbie is doing his interviews now outside the Emirates Stadium with various supporters, which would be good later on. Certainly looking forward to Claude's one.
Oh.
If you want to get your tweets, featured on the show, all you've got to do is tweet, write your tweet, and use the hashtag #TimeAddedOn, and we will feature some of the tweets that come into us. So let's get to some of the tweets, and we'll get underway. This one comes in from Steve A.F.C. Ramsey was awful. Walcott was awful. Doesn't know why Campbell went off. That is the end of the title race. DT.
Do you know what? I'm the one person that sat there. I know Memz as well, but I mean, I'm the one who's vocally had interviews on Arsenal Fan TV after games and stuff, and said, "This is why I don't get carried away, because I've seen things like this happen too many times. Too many people. We go in. You go in 3-2 up at Anfield and stuff like that, and people are singing we're top of the league and stuff. And it's like, what are you doing? Stop! People come out and they get overexcited and they get over, and it's just, I've seen this too many times, man. We've got 15 games still to play. What's that? 45 points?
Yeah.
My maths weren't great, as you can tell. I probably never went to school much. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of points to play for. Anything can happen. You only have to look at recent title races, and you look at the Man City Man United saga the other year when Man City won it on the last game. The only reason why it went to that last game is because they nearly threw it away. You know what I mean? There's a lot of twists and turns. I won't say the title race is over because there's 15 games to play and we're 3 points off the top. and we've got some serious players coming back now, and the likes of Alexis back today and whatnot. But right now, if Wenger keeps on picking certain players and doing certain things that he's doing, then I think the likes of myself and Memz and people that have criticised Wenger from the very beginning are justified in criticising him, in continuing to criticise him. And like I said many a time, a long time ago, the only team that are going to lose Arsenal the title are Arsenal.
Yeah.
And that is as simple as that. We'll blow it. We should be miles ahead. We should be that far ahead that we could have lost today and been still sitting about 10 points clear, laughing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like we've added pressure to ourselves because of stupid results. And you know, I know we struggled through the last 6, 7, 8 weeks without key players and stuff, but you know, when I watch teams like Norwich City and West Brom and teams like that, I sit there and think, how the fuck did we drop points against this shit? Do you know what I mean? And it's not good enough anymore.
No, it's not.
Certainly
not. Certainly, you know, it's certainly not good enough.
Mertesacker should not be getting back in that team again. You know what I mean? And I've said it for weeks and weeks. What does Gabriel have to do? You know, what does he have to do? If Arsene Wenger still had a wife, yeah, then maybe he'd have to kidnap his wife to get in the team. Do you know what I mean? That's the extent he has to go to. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. I would love to be part of the press, you know, and I'd love to sit there after a game in the press conference and just say to Arsene Wenger, can you tell me why you've not been playing Gabriel? Just ask him. Simple question. Let's see what answer he gives.
Yeah, even when Gabriel came on, like like we touched on, Koscielny and Gabriel just look so solid together. And you know, there was parts of that game when it was like Chelsea with a team of 10 men.
Yeah.
You know, and I just, you know, obviously we were lacking that goal just to get us back into the game. But you know, if I'm going to say anything for the positive, police, the second half was positive. I thought we played well, like you say. You know, just chances falling to the wrong players. I don't understand the Giroud substitution. That is one that has totally baffled me again. Chelsea very suspect from set pieces, and no Giroud in there to aim for.
Wait, how ironic was it that as soon as Giroud comes off, they try putting crosses in the box?
Yeah, well.
And I just sit there and I'm like, oh my god, am I the only one watching?
Because Ozil's really going to battle with John Terry in the air and beat him for headers. It's just crazy.
But what you've gone and done is, what he's gone and done, I think the reason why Ozil was so non-effective today is because you got him, you made him do something that's not his job. You know, you took him out of his comfort zone where he's been destroying people. And at the end of the day, I tweeted it as soon as the sending off happened. Gabriel has to come on, and I'm sorry, but you've got to sacrifice Joel Campbell. And the only reason why I would say about keeping Theo on is because of his pace. Right, and you need that outlet. That's why Theo would have got the nod over Joel Campbell, had pace over work rate. And then, you know, there was a couple of incidents in that first half where Theo was making them little runs, and if they were just timed right, you know, he was in.
He was in.
So that shows what problems he could have caused there. Just the timing was right. So I just don't get why he took Giroud off. You look at, go back to the Liverpool game. Why did he take Ozil off and bring Arteta on?
Yes.
You know, so it's not the first time I'm sitting there questioning his substitution. Why are you getting paid £8 million a year when you're making decisions that any one of us who've never managed a game in our life can sit there and see is not right?
Can you see that, DC?
I know. That's what you said. I know. I see your tweet earlier when you said about that's how we should have set up. That goes on the right, Theo on the left. And it's simple as that. It's kind of blurry now, Memz.
Is it? Okay.
Let's go back to some tweets.
That's what.
Yeah, Gunners, has tweeted in. Why did Ramsey and Walcott disappear again today? Yeah, we just touched on that.
Ramsey has been poor for months, Craig.
Yeah. He has been poor, and for weeks. Yeah, even months. It's not Ramsey's certainly not the same player that we saw a couple of years ago. I don't know what's happened to him. I just don't know. He looked like he was going to take on the world 2 years ago, and all of a sudden, he's just, he's just bang average, in my opinion. That might upset a few people, but
he has been. But
it's the truth. He's bang average.
At the end of the day, if people get easily offended, then don't watch. Because
it's the truth.
You say how it is, and you're not going to pussyfoot around it.
No, I'm not. I'm not, and I never will. And I never will. This one comes in from at Sir A. Hussein. When will Arsenal realise Gabriel needs to be playing? I know Memz called him to be starting a while ago. Yeah, again, we've touched on that. We are absolutely baffled, mate, why Gabriel is not in this team. But I'm glad he's come in today because he's actually proved to me, and I think he's proved, even if some people are still doubting him, that he's the man. He's the man for the job. With Koscielny, simple as that.
We see a couple of weeks ago, Craig. We see a couple of weeks ago when Gabriel was playing. I think it was against Everton, and we was in the lead. And in the last 5 minutes, Everton were really pressing, and they had a counter attack, and it was literally 2 against 1, I think it was. And Gabriel's pace to get back and to recover and to make that last tackle. You see him when he won that tackle with his fist in the air, and he loved it. He's a warrior. That's what you need in the Premier League. Everyone knows that Mertesacker's strength. He's decent in the air. He's decent on the ground. His pace. And today, if you had a centre back who had a little bit of pace on him, maybe he wouldn't have had to have dived in the way he did. But Mertz knew he was going to be roasted. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, Diego Costa isn't the quickest of strikers.
No.
So he's not got out and out pace. So if you've got a centre back who's got a little bit of pace, probably would have got back. So Wenger's got to make this decision now. That Mertesacker's going to miss a couple of games. Gabriel's got to come in, and if Gabriel does well, he's got to keep his place. It's as simple as that.
You know what? The only problem is, Memz, is that for a professional foul, it's a 1-game ban. So Mertesacker's only going to miss the Burnley game, which he probably wouldn't have played anyway.
Is that right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. I thought a straight red card in any situation was a
violent conduct. Violent conduct red cards are free games. Things like professional fouls are a 1-game ban.
Well,
I
didn't know that.
I don't know if that's good news or bad news, to be honest with you, DT, mate.
It's bad news in a way. At the end of the day, he wouldn't have played anyway. Gabriel would have played against Burnley next week anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's why I just sit there just like, oh my God, it's like... I'm baffed to see that. I really would love someone to ask him. I really would. I really want to know why Gabriel's not starting.
Kieran, let's get you involved again, mate. Tweets come in here. I've actually lost the name, so I'm sorry about that. But Theo Walcott, he's had 10 years. He's trained with many great players, but seems not to have learned a thing, mate. Theo Walcott, Kieran, have you lost patience with him now? Is it time? Is it time for him to go? And at the bottom of the tweet, would you take money for him right now?
No, I think he's still got a big chance here because, at the minute, he's been playing on the left again, and you could see a difference between when he was playing up front and when he's playing on the left now. When he was playing up front, I remember against Man United, he was scoring 3 goals. He was getting 3 goals a game when he was up front, and he looked much better when he was up front. I think if he gets a chance back up front, we could see more of him. And I think that's what I think we need. But then at the same time, Giroud has been obviously banging in form, so it isn't like you can obviously take him out and put Walker up front. But yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He absolutely frustrates the hell out of me. But when he's good, he's good. But unfortunately, we haven't seen that for weeks. We haven't seen any kind of flash of form from Theo Walcott.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Right. Sentimentally, great. Yeah, lovely. Give Theo Walcott the captaincy because it's 10 years and this and that, yeah? All that's done to me is show me how pathetic we take the captaincy of Arsenal Football Club. Okay? We're talking about from back in the day, from leaders like Frank McClintock to Tony Adams. Do you really think Tony Adams would have gave over his captain's armband for anyone? No. Regardless. he would have turned around and went, yeah.
Not for a game of that magnitude. It was a big game today.
Not that. Yeah. I'll buy you a pint afterwards in the players' bar. That's about all you're getting off me, mate. You're not having me armband. Sorry. And I think that just shows how little the captaincy means at Arsenal Football Club right now. To a massive game like this, and you go in, yeah, it's a great gesture. Yeah, wonderful. Woo, yeah, happy days. No, because I think the captain is someone that has to play week in, week out, barring injuries. They have to be a leader. You need to know who your leader is. You know, it's no good saying, oh, but he's a leader and he's a leader and he can do this and he. You need a captain. You need someone. You know, and I said it all along. I think right now our captain should be Petr Cech.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I said that as well. Got ridiculed for it. Oh, you can't have a goalkeeper as a captain. You can't have a goalkeeper as a captain. How are you supposed to get a message to your striker? Well, it's pretty easy, isn't it? You just pass it along the line. Yeah. I played in goal for years and I was captain. You pass the message on along the line. It's not hard.
No, at the end of the day, I'd have him as captain, and then I would have Coquelin as vice captain, and I'd let him learn the ropes because I think Coquelin's got everything there to be that. We all thought it would be Jack Wilshere. Love it to be Jack Wilshere eventually if he can stay fit now, but he's just not in that position to take on that responsibility. Jack needs to just concentrate on getting fit, staying fit, playing the football we know he can play.
Yeah, absolutely, because when he is fit, he comes straight in for Ramsey for me.
I just think that was a baffling decision, and again, that is something that I'd like to ask Arsene Wenger as well. Does he really take the captaincy of Arsenal Football Club seriously?
Probably wouldn't answer you anyway, mate. He'll never answer a direct question like that, will he? This tweet comes in from Smith. We are not winning the league. Good night. Okay. Very negative. That's very negative.
That's the truth.
Yeah, well, it might be, but it's very negative, Memz.
Sounds like Memz have got our biggest fans.
This one comes in from Tyrrell. Mertesacker shouldn't have played in the first instance. Arsene should explain why he's constantly choosing him in every game. Yeah. People agreeing with you there. DT. This one comes in from Abdu. Wenger is being too sentimental and he is going to destroy our season. Memz.
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's harsh, but it's in line because the only, like DT said, the only people that can mess up this opportunity that what we've got is ourselves. And we've played 3 games in the last 2 weeks, and we've picked up how many points? Liverpool, Stoke, and today. So a possible 9 points, we've picked up 2 points. And if that's going to win, if that's the format that's going to win you the league, it's not. And a lot of the mistakes have been selection, tactics. We've all said about Mertesacker. You know, we're questioning whether Ramsey can play in the middle. You know, as the young man said earlier on, next to DT. Sorry, I missed your name there, young man.
Kieran.
But, you know, Kieran. Sorry, Kieran. You know, you made a vital point that Theo's got to start playing in the middle. And today was an opportunity when we went to 10 men. Why didn't Theo get that opportunity to play as the lead striker? You know, you're playing Ozil in the centre. Why not put Theo there? You know, and put Ozil on the wing if necessary. But you know, you got the pace to exploit against Terry. Why not give it a go? It's things like that, Craig. You know, it's decisions like that, simple decisions, but are not really going against us. And it's big decisions because Wenger's been a coach for years, knows tactics, knows transfers, knows everything. But yet we get to points like this in the key point of the season, and his decisions are questionable. And you know, it's not an anti-Arsene program, this, but it's true. It's questions that need to be addressed. You know, and if we're going to be winning the title, we need our manager to start making these decisions that are going to start paying off for us.
Absolutely.
So, at the end of the day, right? It's January, and I think I'm correct in saying this. We've lost 9 games this season already. 9 in all competition. 9 games. That's a lot.
Not good enough. Well, it's certainly, you know, it's certainly not title. It's certainly not title credentials, but we're still up there, 3 points off the top.
But that shows you how poor the league is, then.
Yeah. Well, we all know how poor the league is, mate. I know how poor we all know how poor the league is. That's why we're saying that. Or I put my neck on the line and say, if we don't win it this year, we ain't going to win it for another 10.
No, and
I personally believe that. You can hound me all you like. If we don't do it this year, like we've said before, if anyone thinks that United are going to be this poor again next year, if anyone thinks Chelsea are going to be this poor again next year, if anyone thinks Manchester City, sure, even that lot down the road are only 2 points behind us now. It's worrying. It's worrying. I'm looking over my shoulder at that lot now. They're, you know, yes, they won yesterday.
You're 100% right, mate. 100% right.
But one thing I will say on that is I watched their game yesterday and it was awful. They were awful. The score didn't justify the game. Crystal Palace missed so many chances to go 2-1 up, but it was unbelievable. But I'm not talking about them. Pete the Gooner. Now the tweets are coming in about selling players. Pete the Gooner says, would anyone take money for Aaron Ramsey right now?
Yeah, I would.
What do you think?
I would.
You would?
Yeah, because he's had half a good season in how many years here?
Yeah.
That's the way you got to look at it. It's another, you know, you talk about Theo Walcott, 10 years, what's he actually done? You talk about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, 5 years, what's he actually done? Aaron Ramsey, what's he been here, 5 years or so now, 5-6 years? Apart from half a good season, what's he actually done? Even if you take away the year he was out for injury, you're talking 3.5 years of play time. What's he actually done? You know, flatters to deceive, neglects his duty, selfish, thinks of himself other than the team, as far as I'm concerned. What, you telling me if you weren't offered 60 million for him to go to Barcelona, you wouldn't take that?
I would certainly take their hands off.
I'd snap their hand off, but the only problem is, this is my only concern. 59.9 million of that go in Stan Kroenke's back pocket.
Yeah. Or pay for the Kansas. Is it Kansas City? Pay for their new training ground or whatever it is.
Who pay wearing Parasite? I cannot stand him. I can't stand him. I can't stand Chips Keswick. I can't stand Arsene Wenger's puppet master, Ivan Gazidis. You know, the man that Arsene Wenger employed. Remember that. Yeah.
And remember, one thing you always must remember about Ivan Gazidis as well is that 2 years ago he told us that in 2015 we'd be competing with the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. You make of that. I'm not going to say no more than that. People watching this can make out of that what they want.
And do you know what? In money terms, when you spoke about the gate revenue at the Emirates, it proved that we were actually make the most money in world football. But in terms of on the pitch, we are a fucking million miles behind.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Anyone compare Arsenal to Barcelona and Real Madrid needs a brain transplant.
Mate, I'll tell you something.
Simple. Needs a brain transplant.
Please, is there anyone else out there listening, yeah, that are absolutely petrified of the thought of Messi, Neymar and Suarez?
I worry for us against Barcelona. I certainly do. Certainly do. But at the same time, I can't wait. At the same time, you know. But I do worry. Kieran, this tweet comes in from Frankie Alpha. What are your thoughts on Arsene Wenger reportedly signing a 2-year contract extension?
Oh God. I don't think it's good, to be honest, because I think a lot of people have had enough, to be honest. It's the same all the time now. I mean, I'm not so old myself, so I don't know a lot about him from when my younger years. But he, a long time ago, he would have found players like Marshall from Man United and stuff like that. Players that are players that are at the wrong club now that could be with us and they could do quite well with us. Whereas now he's not finding any of them. You're not finding no one, and when he does find people like El Nene and stuff, he doesn't play them.
Yes.
It's frustrating, and it's getting quite annoying now to see the same things each and every year. And plus, the stuff about not signing anyone every year is just getting stupid as well.
Yeah.
Memz,
Kieran makes a good point about Arsene Wenger not finding those kind of players anymore. He hasn't found us a new Vieira, a new Henry, you know, another Jack Wilshere, or you know, the list is endless. The players that he's brought, Anelka, you could even say.
He lost a no-go though, didn't he?
Oh, he found Sonogo, yeah, and then shipped off for Phobe. Yeah, great decision.
Well done.
It's a good point, though, Kieran, mate. Arsene Wenger hasn't found us.
It's a very good point.
In a long time, has
It's
he?
a very good point. When Arthur first came to Arsenal, you know, he came with a lot of news, but unfortunately, his ideas and his methods have been caught up by other clubs now. And now scouting the likes of the French League, you know, or the African League, or wherever Arsene Wenger did find these gems. Teams are now not only caught up, but have overcome us in terms of scouting. You've seen the likes of Leicester, the players that they're signed. So all the good that Arsene Wenger did many years ago, all the methods and all the influence that he brought to the English game, well done. You've done a fantastic job. But now what you've done is that you've told other clubs how to do it as well, and they're doing it now better. Arsene Wenger hasn't been able to adapt and to change. You know, he's still stuck in his ways as this dinosaur. And my theory is now, if the reports are true that Arsene Wenger will get an extension, is that people used to say that there's no one else available. Who would you get that could do a better job than Arsene? Well, there's people out there who do a better job. But the problem is now we probably won't get them because they're not entertain Arsenal, because Arsene Wenger is going to be there. And I think it's quite selfish for Arsene Wenger, because if he truly loved the club, if he truly wanted the best for Arsenal Football Club, he would turn around and say, do you know what? I've done everything I can. I've guided you past that into this period where it's going to be, you know, a challenging part. I've guided you. I've shown you now the route. It's now time for me to move across and to allow someone else to come in and take over good work what I've done. But he will not do that because he's selfish and he's stubborn. What are we going to achieve by giving him another 2-3 years contract? He's going to be 70 in a couple of years' time. How much longer what is he, immortal? He's going to live forever. This is a club, this is a business. Yes, I understand. We've got to start planning for the future. Arsene Wenger has done fantastic for Arsenal, but it's time to start planning for the future, start looking elsewhere, whether it's Guardiola, whether it's someone else. We've got to start moving on. There is life at Arsenal Football Club after Arsene Wenger. There
was life before it, mate. As well.
Do you know what I think the problem is, though? The problem is not so much Arsene Wenger as well, it's the board. Because Arsene Wenger achieves what they want him to achieve.
Exactly.
Now,
it's the bare minimum. Yeah, it's the minimum that they're achieving, DT.
In life, whatever you do in life, whatever job you do, if your boss sets out you with a target, and you reach that minimum target year upon year and make that company money, they will love you. Yeah, you're doing it. The moment you don't start hitting that target, and the moment you start losing them money, i.e. don't qualify for the Champions League, that's when they will start going, ooh, not.
That's when it becomes a problem.
Absolutely. And this is the problem.
Right,
it's not just Arsene Wenger. It's a whole chain. It's a root problem, and it starts with Stan Kroenke, his son, Chips Keswick, Ivan Gazidis. Ivan Gazidis says all the nice things, all the things that he's supposed to say. The fact of the matter is that they're fleecing money out of every single one of us. People say, why do I still go to games? Why do I spend so much money? Because I love Arsenal Football Club. I don't love Arsene Wenger. I wasn't born into my family of Arsenal supporters thinking, oh, who's this Arsenal FC? What a great team they are. No, Arsenal fucking Football Club. I was here before Arsene Wenger, and I'll be here long after he's gone. And I hope to fucking God I'm still here after them parasites are out of our club as well. Because they're the poison. They're the, you can't just pick something and expect it to change when the root is still there. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Still there.
Yeah. And it's well said.
That's the main problem. And I'm sick and tired of people talking about Wenger and saying, he's so loyal, he could have gone to Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or PSG. No. When you're earning the kind of money he does, and you know you're not under pressure,
you're going to go nowhere.
Why are you going to then go to a job that you're instantly under pressure, and within a year's time, if you don't deliver, you're out the door and you're picking up your P45?
Absolutely.
It's simple. Any one of us would stay in the Arsenal job if we were Arsene Wenger, because he's got it cushy. What's he got to worry about? It's not rocket science, man.
It's true.
And it's true.
At the end of the day, we're going to get left behind. And like you said, Tottenham are starting to pull forward now, and they're building a young team and everything else. And I sit there and think, oi, I'll tell you something, I don't want to be around to see them fucking start dominating above us. Do you know
That's something I do not want to see.
I'm old enough to remember times when they have finished above us and stuff. But you know, Twitter weren't about then. You couldn't get fucking abused like you did then. You could just lock your door and disappear. You know what I mean? What would they do? Send you a letter in the post? Fucking hell. And I can't handle that, man. You've got to deal with the root problem, mate.
Oh, we all know. We all know that. We all know we've got to deal with the root problem.
And Stan Kroenke, man. I'm telling you, if a lot of you don't know about, I don't know a lot about the NFL stuff and things like that, but I've taken a lot of interest over this last year just to try and get an understanding of what the American people think of Stan Kroenke. The American people that support clubs that he owns, just like we do. You know, they're no different. They're fans. You know, look what he's done to that team.
Well, I think a couple of weeks ago, he turned up to one of his American football matches, or I think it was ice hockey or something like that. He's got an ice hockey team as well, I think.
Yeah, and
he turned up to it, and he got absolutely hounded by the fans.
He's moving them like 900 odd miles or something.
Yeah, unbelievable. I think Robbie touched on it. It would be like moving Arsenal to Carlisle.
Yeah, no, Scotland. You know what I mean? Up to Glasgow or something. But that just shows the nature of the man.
Yeah.
Because he does not for 1 second think about the fan base.
No.
You know,
or the team, or the club.
The fans, the tradition, everything about that team. I don't know a lot about them. I don't know how long they've been in existence. I don't know, but there's a history there. There's a heritage. There's generations of families that have grown up supporting that side, just like we do as Arsenal fans. So it just makes you sit there and think, wow, that just shows what kind of man he is. Because he's doing it for financial reasons, and that is it. And then all of a sudden he's getting these big bank loans now to pay for the stadium and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you need to have some insurance in your banks and stuff like that. So get that kind of loans. How convenient, there's 200 odd million in the bank of our money, and it doesn't get spent.
And then he gets 30 million. Was it? No, sorry, 3 million top-up payment every year for his advice.
Yeah. Give me 3 million and I'll give him some fucking advice.
Exactly. Let's get back to some tweets. Blaze says, can we actually win the league this season, taking in our fixture list into consideration? I think we're all agreed. Yes, we can still win the league. Yes, we can. But we have got to start winning these kind of games, and we have got to stop relying on other teams drawing or losing. Every time we make a mistake or every time we slip up. At the moment, we're up there, and let's just face the facts. We're still up there because other teams below us or other teams around us have slipped up. Like DT said earlier, we could be 10, 12 points clear. We could all be sitting here now going, well, it's only Chelsea. We've lost, all right, we've lost, let's move on to next week, we're still 10. That's the thing that frustrates me as a fan the most. But yes, I believe we can still win the league. This one comes in from Martin Oliver. El Nini needs to start in the place of Flamini. Hopefully he will bring in fresh energy to the middle of the park. Memz. 100% agree with that. I would have started him today, personally.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have started him today, mate. It's a big game to be chucked in against Chelsea, but he had an opportunity to start last week against Stoke.
He's a footballer. He's a footballer.
Yeah.
Get him on.
Flamini today was poor. He was everything that he did. He had a couple of opportunities to score. His touch was poor. If you're going to buy a player, if you've seen something in a player, and you're going to spend money to bring him to the club, then play him. What's the point? We did it with Gabriel. We spent a lot of money on him, and he hasn't been getting regular game time. We did it with Callum Chambers. We've now done it with El Nini. These players, if you've seen the talent in them and you've gone out and invested money, you brought them to the club. They've trained a couple of games. If you see what they can do and they're match fit, you've got to give them an opportunity. And I think we'll probably see these players probably next week in the cup game. But it's just unfortunate that we've not picked up the win in these last 3 games, because if we would have picked up at least one win, I think we would have been in a good chance to win the title. And we're not capitalising. It's like what you said as well, Craig. You know, we can't keep relying on other teams to drop points, to do us favours. We've got to start winning games, picking up points. You've got, you know, you've got all these squad players. We see Iwobi came on against Stoke. You know, he looked pretty good. You know, so we've got these players. Let's give them opportunities. Play them. Let's be fair. Ramsey ain't playing well. Theo's not playing well. Mertesacker's not playing well. You know, so you've got all these players. Give them an opportunity and see what they can do.
Absolutely.
Too much law.
Yeah, absolutely. This one comes in from Kresha. Can we talk about Alexis Sanchez today? Yes, we can. When he came on the pitch, an absolute breath of fresh air. Probably done more in the 20 minutes he was on than a couple of players combined. DT, Alexis Sanchez.
Oh, I love him. I love him. I want to marry him. Yes, to God. I'll turn for him. I don't care.
No, DT.
I don't care. Don't care. You're going to see me having a march with the gay Gooners next week. I'm on it.
But I must say, I must say,
listen.
I must say, just before you carry on, DT, I must say, I've said this before. If I came home from the pub one night and I found Alexis Sanchez in bed with my missus,
you're tucking me.
Oh, sorry. Carry on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'd sit downstairs. I'd sit downstairs and I would just wait politely until he's finished.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Make him a refreshment for afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Make him a cup of tea. Hello.
Light him a cigarette up. Make a pipe. Give him your stuff.
Anyway.
I'll get the camcorder out and start recording it. Anyway.
At the end of the day, the guy is world class, man. And I think you saw in 20 minutes what we've been missing for 6, 7, 8 weeks. It's just an injection, an enthusiasm. I saw him at one point, right near the end. It was him making the last-ditch tackle and intercepting them from nearly scoring a second goal when they had a counter. And he's at one. The only thing that you could see with him today is that his touch wasn't quite there. There was a few misplaced passes, bit of rustiness about him, which is understandable because he's been out for nearly 2 months. But the enthusiasm and that energetic. Just no action, all action, Duracell battery performance that he puts in was there, and you could feel the lift. You could feel the lift. You could tell within the stadium. You could tell with the players. There seemed to be that step up in gear in that last 15 minutes where you felt something could happen. You know, my problem was just that anything that fell or dropped in the box dropped to the wrong person. Do you know what I mean? There was one incident, the ball dropped to Flamini, where he tries doing that little back flick with his legs, like Alexis' first goal against Man United. Yeah, it fell to Flamini. Then we had the incident where Alexis opened him up on that side and played Monreal in on his right foot, and he ended up kind of come cross shot, and it went out for a goal kick. And then even before the Flamini incident, it was Oxlade-Chamberlain was taking a swing at the ball and miss-hitting. And you're just thinking, oh.
I think Sanchez flapped at one as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but like
when I rolled across to him, I was like, oh my God, here we go, here it comes. Oh, you know, and even I just think it was one of those days today, mate. It was, you know, not even Sanchez could connect.
Darkness. That's
but lads, I think Yox looked quite well when he came on as well, though, didn't he? I thought he gave us something on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
So, you know, he gets his criticisms over the last couple of weeks, Yox, but I think, you know, when he came on, he did look up for it. So
he played well. No,
you know, just give players credits where credit's due.
Absolutely. Look, we've said it before. We come on here to analyse a football match. Whether we do it well, whether, you know, we're not pundits. We're just normal fans, just like everyone watching this. It's just that we've been given a chance to come on and represent Arsenal Fan TV, if you like. But look, Oxlade-Chamberlain did do well today when he came on, I thought. And like you said, Memz, yes, if we have to analyse what we see. I'm not coming on here. I just want to get this out there. I'm not coming on here with an agenda against anyone. All right? There is no agenda against anyone here. It's a discussion. And we'll leave it there. This tweet comes in from Joe Hartman. Disappointing, but let's stay behind the team. Plenty of the season left. Gabriel has to start now in front of Mertesacker for the rest of the season. Yes. Absolutely, totally agree. As Alexis Sanchez joins us there. Kieran.
My baby. My baby did on my pillow tonight.
I'm starting to worry about you, DT, really.
At least it ain't a picture of you, Memz.
It can be if you want me to DM you one, mate. I can do.
Would you agree with that, Kieran? Gabriel in for the rest of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I was quite relieved in a way when Mertesacker got sent off. Not because of the fact that maybe Chelsea had a better chance of winning that game, but because of the fact that it gave Gabriel his chance to prove that he's the man for the job. I thought Mertesacker starting in the first place was stupid again after several games of being the same as he is. He had no pace at all. I mean, Southampton was a great example of it because look how, what was the striker's name of Southampton? That absolutely ran him ragged. But yeah,
Shane Long.
Yeah,
Shane Long, yeah.
It proves that even players like Shane Long, who isn't a great player, that has pace, can just easily ease past players like Mertesacker. Whereas if it was Gabriel, it would have been completely different. And you can see today when he came on at the end, when all the chances were coming in for Chelsea, it was either Gabriel or Alexis Sanchez after coming on, getting back and winning all the balls. So yeah, I think Gabriel is definitely the man to start.
Okay, this is going to be good. Memz and DT can share this one.
Oh, great, cheers.
Wonderful.
This one comes in from Abs Arsenal. Here we go again, blaming Arsene Wenger, like effing always. How the F is it his fault?
Because
it was Mertesacker's fault.
Abs, the reason why you're blocked is because you're a dickhead. Yeah? Secondly, simple as, right? The reason why you blame Arsene Wenger is because he picks the fucking team. Okay? Who else picks it? Did I pick it? Did Memz pick it? Did Craig pick it? No. Was it an internet poll? Who should play in defence today, Arsenal fans? Let's vote now. Dun, 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 dun. Dickhead. Arsene Wenger picks the team. He's the one who made it. He's the one responsible for it. Next question.
I hope that answered your question, Abs. I hope you took that on board.
Can I comment on that as well?
Yeah, of course.
Abs as well. Abs, okay, is that I know that there's some fans out there who are very loyal to Arsene Wenger. There's probably some young fans as well that have only seen life under Arsene Wenger, so they've got this fear that one day when he's gone, that we will just fall apart and become the next Aston Villa or something like that. But please, Abs, you've got to understand this. You can't keep on making excuses for the man. Like DC said, he picks the team, he signs the players, he trains the players, he motivates the players. Sooner or later, the buck ends with Arsene Wenger. You cannot keep on blaming referees and international games and players being physically jaded and all the other excuses that we've used over the years. Sooner or later, it comes down to him because he picks the team. He goes and motivates the players. He gets the players tactically motivated as well. So sooner or later, you've got to start pointing the finger at the man that makes all these decisions. So, if you don't want to blame him, that's fine. I understand your loyalty towards Arsene Wenger, but there's other fans like me, DT, and others that see things from a different angle. You have to start blaming the man that makes these decisions.
Yeah, like I've told you all before.
It's a bit more diplomatic. It's a bit more diplomatic than DT.
Yeah. No, but look.
It's not about why are we blaming him. Because he's the fucking manager. He gets paid £8 fucking million a year. Jesus Christ. You could pay me £8 a year and I still would know not to pick fucking Mertesacker. What an absolute liability. Seriously.
We'll move on. This one comes in from Jude. How many players in this team? I think she's going back to what I was talking about. Ivan Gazidis giving us the spiel about Madrid and Barcelona. How many players in this team would make Bayern, Real Madrid or Barcelona? Because our best two players are Galactico rejects. I wouldn't call them they're Galactico rejects. They are.
That's a big debate.
Alexis Sanchez is not.
No, I think what she's trying. No. 1 second. What she's trying to say is they've been rejected by Barcelona and Real Madrid. Yes. So she could have probably worded it a bit better. But her point stands.
I still think that Ozil or Alexis would get in those teams as well. Now, Barcelona. Yes,
I can understand that point.
They got their front three, but Barcelona and Real Madrid are totally different in the way that they do business. they will pick someone and use them as a scapegoat to make money to go and get one of their new Galacticos. You know, and that's the way that they work. And at the end of the day,
and it's a lot of bit about,
you know,
sorry, DT, it's a lot of it is about politics as well. Is that the chairman, the new incoming chairman, needs to make a statement and buy a big player. So players like Ozil, you know, they signed Bale. You know, when Barcelona bought, you know, Suarez. Sometimes you've got to allow some players to go. Sorry to cut you off there, DT. So a lot of Spanish football is a lot of bit about politics. So, you know, yes, you know, you can say that Ozil and Sanchez were possibly rejected in Spain, but you've got to understand as well that football is a team of 11 players, and you can't fit every player into the team. So,
absolutely.
You know,
I mean, don't think for 1 minute I'm calling Ozil and Sanchez rejects. I'm not. I'm absolutely delighted they've been rejected by the clubs that they were playing for, else they wouldn't be here now. Obviously, our two best players, and that's, you know, that's without no argument. This one comes in from Andrew. How quickly do you think we need to start bringing players back like Coquelin and dropping Ramsey and Flamini? Well, simple answer to that, Andrew, is when Coquelin's fit.
If he's back,
who knows? I know he's back in full training, but you know, he's obviously not 100% fit. And then people can argue that Sanchez was 100% fit, but obviously Sanchez is more fit than Coquelin. This one comes in from Pavedon. How will today's match affect the Champions League game against Barcelona?
I think Barcelona's still well away yet. We've still got ages till.
I mean, what, we've got 3 weeks till that game.
I think it's completely irrelevant and completely different. I think when we went into the game against Bayern Munich at home, it was on the back of some good performances and stuff, and we were doing okay. But the Champions League and the Premiership are two different things, and Barcelona are a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. Like I said, I'm excited to be playing Barcelona, but then at the same time,
I'll tell you something. If we beat Barcelona, right? I'll say this now. If we go through, we beat them and go through to the next round, I will be so pissed off if we don't win the tournament. If we can beat Barcelona and not win it,
we can beat anyone. Yeah.
Then something's wrong.
Yeah. But then, you know,
typical Arsenal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be typical Arsenal. It would. This one comes in from Hassan. Let's bring Kieran back into the equation. Hassan, he wants us to talk about prepping the players before big games and fan support at home. Well, Hassan, all I'll say to that is what I'll touch on Memz. The job to prep the players before a big game is the managers and the captain. If you want to bring the captain into it.
Absolutely.
For me, there is no captain. Mertesacker just wears the armband so it's worn. And I don't believe that Arsene Wenger can get his team up for big games. And it's as simple as that. Kieran, whose job is it, mate, to rally the players? It's got to be the managers and the captains, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be, and if the players aren't getting up for the games and push, you know, it's quite clear they're not doing the job, are they? You know, I know Mertesacker isn't doing the job now, and you'd rather Petr Cech doing it. And I heard after Stoke, at half time, I heard it was Cech that got the players up and ready for the second half, and they all said they only came out ready for the game after what he was saying. So that shows that the real captain right there is Cech, and if Mertesacker is clearly not doing it, you should definitely take him off it.
Yeah. I mean, Theo came out in the public, didn't he, and told everyone about what Cech had said. Now, if Theo Walcott's telling us that they only started playing after this rallying cry from Petr Cech, give the man the armband then. Again, it's like DT says, it's not rocket science, is it? If he's the man that can get a reaction, give him the band. We'll worry about getting messages to players. We can give him a notebook, and they can pass on the messages. But for me, next season, if Petr Cech is not captain of Arsenal, there's, you know, it would be a calamity if he's not captain.
I think it should be from now.
From now, well,
Do you know what, though, guys?
Yes, Memz.
Go on, guys. It should be a combination of two things to motivate the players. It should come in from the manager and also the captain. Now, when Alex Ferguson was in charge over at Man United, it used to be a combination of him being the good guy and Roy Keane being the bad guy. The players needed bollock him, it used to be the captain. He used to pull these players aside and go, hey, get your act together. And then it's the manager to motivate and get the players feeling good. So it should be a combination of the two. It should almost be a team between the manager and the captain. I don't think we've got that going over at Arsenal at the moment. There's a very famous quote from Lee Dixon when it was his first North London derby. There was a tweet going on between a few of us and Lee Dixon, and Lee Dixon actually confirmed it. That when it was his first North London derby, I think it was Tony Adams, David Rocastle, and a couple of other players pulled Lee Dixon aside and said, hey, this is what being an Arsenal player is all about. It's Arsenal Spurs. You're not out in Stoke now. So you've got to get fired up for this. And they grabbed him by the shirt, apparently, in the change rooms. And Lee Dixon actually confirmed that happened. Could you see any Arsenal players in the current bunch we've got at the moment doing anything like that to any of the players? To get a new signing like Emily and something, hey, this is Arsenal Chelsea. This is what it's all about. I can't see any of the players doing anything like that because I don't personally think they give a shit.
I will say this, Memz. I believe that if Jack Wilshere was in the team, I would put my money on Wilshere doing something like that. Definitely.
I agree with you.
But, you know what? Touching on what Memz said as well, right? You know that isn't happening because I only have to go back to Norwich away when Alexis got pushed into that cameraman.
Yeah.
If that was Arsenal of old, Tony Adams, Paul Davis, Rocky Rocastle, Mickey Thomas, etc., they would have steamed it and absolutely annihilated that guy. Don't touch one of our own. Do you know what I mean? And it's, you know, we were playing football with Paul Merson a few months ago and we were chatting about some old things in the 80s and stuff like that. And he said there was one time, and he said Tony Adams was just the most unbelievable motivator. And he said if you weren't performing, you were more scared of going in the changing room and facing him than George Graham. And he said there was an incident at White Hart Lane once where we was losing, and it was when I think Anders Limpar was in the team. There was only like one or two foreigners in the team, and Tony Adams went right on one at half time and said about, you know, this Arsenal Football Club, effing this, effing that. If you don't understand what this means, take your fucking boots off and fuck off now. And they went out and battered Spurs in the second half and done the job. You ain't going to see that now, are you?
No.
You can see that.
Well, that's what I was saying, DT. That's where you need a combination of players and manager motivating. You know, the manager can only do so much. Now, he can give you tactics, but you'll need the experienced players as well to sort of get a hold of the players, the younger players, and explain to them how much it means to the fans. I don't think we've got that at Arsenal.
No.
I can't see players. You said Craig. You know, Wilshere is probably one of those players that will do it. Flamini strikes me as being one of these players. Gabriel looks like one of these players that likes to be motivated, but they're professional football players earning thousands of pounds a week. They shouldn't have motivation do they need to be playing football for Arsenal? For God's sake, you know what I mean? Are
they scared? Are they scared? Are they scared of the manager?
What, scared of Wenger? Who
knows? We don't know. We don't get to see what goes on behind closed doors, do we? We don't know. We don't know what Wenger says.
Gummidge. I don't think so.
You know what you're saying there is so true, but in the respect as well, the one thing that winds me up is when you see players in the tunnel before a game, and you see them
hugging and kissing.
You know, and I just sit there and I think, if I was a pro player, I don't care if the guy next to me used to play for our club. I don't care if he's my international teammate. For the next 90 minutes, you're my enemy. I hate you. I'm going to absolutely annihilate you. Don't look at me. Don't try and give me safe or high fives or anything. Fuck off. We'll talk after the game.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm a different breed, and I was brought up in that era of the Tony Adams and stuff like that, where they were like that. You didn't see none of that. When you used to go into the tunnel at Highbury, when back in the day, and and you look at the confrontations, even the Vieira and Keane confrontation in the tunnel at Highbury, and that all started over Patrick Vieira intimidating Gary Neville. And then Roy Keane stepping in, and then you won't see none of that now, will you? It's all high fives, hugs, and kisses, and let's swap shirts.
Do they really give a shit?
Andre Santos taking Van Persie's shirt.
Yeah. And you know what?
Do they really give a shit? I mean,
can I just say, while I've been on there, right, I've seen a picture and I've actually seen it. Yeah. Any Arsenal fan now, right? I'm telling you now. Have you seen the picture of Seth Fabregas grabbing his Chelsea badge after the game, mocking the Arsenal fans, pointing to his badge and grabbing it and that? Yeah, I'm telling you now, take that fucking thing that's on the bridge of that little snake down, because he should be nothing associated to Arsenal Football Club whatsoever. Yeah? Snake. This picture. Horrible, slimy, little fucking snake. Do you know what I mean? I hope he comes home.
Holding the badge.
Serious to God, I hope he comes home one day and finds an Arsenal fan in bed with his missus. Horrible, fucking, slimy cunt. Hate him.
Right, let's finish. We're running out of time. I'll pick one out here we can finish on. This one comes in from Gooner for lifetime. We haven't won the title for a long time. Will it be hardly surprising if we don't win this one? Memz?
Do you know what? It's not going to be hardly surprising. It's like what BT said and what a load of us said. A couple of weeks ago, one was saying, "Oh, we're top of the league." We just knew, that there was going to be this blip, or we just knew that the wheels would come off somewhere along the line. It's not surprising. In fact, we expect it. It would be nice for Arsenal just to prove us wrong. I'm not going to write it off completely because football's a fun old game, as they say, and anything can happen. I can see this coming, and a number of people can see this coming. What we really needed is that big signing in the January transfer window, that big striker to sort of give us that boost, but it didn't come. I don't think we had that opportunity a couple of years ago as well when we were top of the league and we went out and bought Kim Kallstrom. It's seen so many times before. Where we've missed opportunities, and this year is our biggest opportunity to win the title. And like you said, Craig, if we do not win it this year, will this opportunity come again? I don't know, for a very long time. So,
I hope I'm not right. I hope I'm not right. I hope I'm not right. But that's just.
I hope you're not right too, mate.
Yeah, that's just my feeling.
I hope you're not right too, but I think you will be right, though, Craig. There's nothing. None of us here are sitting here and say is. Personal egos mean to compare to what Arsenal is, and I would sit here happily and say, do you know what, I was wrong. If that meant Arsenal win the title,
oh god,
but it's just our opinions we're putting across. And I don't expect us to win the league. I think it's going to be one, another one of those come close, didn't quite do it. It's going to be a big opportunity missed off because, like you said. City next year with Pep Guardiola effect if he goes there. Chelsea going to get a new manager. United are going to be strong. Tottenham we're going to be giving Arsene Wenger a contract.
Yeah. All right, lads, we'll wrap this one up. Robbie has started uploading some videos to the channel with the fan interviews. Thank you, everyone, for watching live. There has been double the amount than usual. So hopefully the positive police can see, can see our points of view as quite good ones. Hopefully.
I'm looking forward to Robbie's interviews.
Yes, I am looking forward to Robbie's interviews.
I guarantee Ty is as positive as Charlie Sheen as ever.
Yeah. But I think that just. We could lose 10-0 and Ty would be like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, as again, thanks for everyone who's watched live. Really appreciate your time. If you haven't followed us yet on Twitter, please do at the Gooner Talk and give the Gooner Talk a subscription. The link is below in the description box. My thanks to DT. My thanks to Kieran. My thanks to Memz. Not the perfect day. Not the perfect day. We've lost to Chelsea again. One stat I did want to read out actually. That is 500+ minutes of Premier League football. We haven't scored a goal against Chelsea.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they're all done.
Make of that what you will. Until I see you again tomorrow on the Gooner Talk for the Chelsea review. Up the Arsenal.